Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a gorgeous, Thursday, the 26th of March. It was, speaking of 26, it was 26 degrees this morning. You can still see there's frost on the ground, despite it's actually 41 degrees now. So we're late taking off to work because Ryan and a buddy of his with a really cool trailer that he loaned out, and the loanee damaged the winch on the trailer, so he used our Chevy truck, well, his old Chevy truck, our truck, and a tow strap, and literally used the truck to drag her car up onto a drop bed trailer. They're out there he was here early this morning. I mean, it was just biting cold when he got here, and out there digging in that winch trying to get that thing working, and he'd done something and pulled the wires, because it's a drop bed and the wires go down to a big old control box with batteries and all that stuff, and hydraulic fluid for the rams and everything, and somehow or another yanked the cord. He doesn't know, but they got inside and it was all melted, so they used the old Chevy truck and a tow strap and ran the strap up like around where the winch is, and used it. As far as the car knew, it was hooked up to a winch. That kid, the ingenuity of that little sucker. But anyway, it's got us late, which is, we're okay with that. But anyway, the truck is on the way to Ryan's house, or the car is. He's gonna rebuild the cylinder head and get her car going. How about that? I know it's family and stuff, and you kind of most people expect those things, but nowadays you don't. I mean, when I was growing up, family just did that. Just family and friends did that for each other. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Gonna take his time, and knowing him, he probably won't charge her anything. He'll buy the parts and everything. That's the way that boy is. Gotta love him. But anyway, let's go to work. What do you think, Sashi? You red. Everybody goes, what's with the red on there? Don't know. Started happening a couple years ago. Crazy mutt. It's easy to spot her if she ever got lost. She got this weird red streak going down her flank. All right, let's roll. Because we were late coming in this morning, then we had a traffic thing that put us back by 20 minutes. We were half an hour late getting to work today. So we just dove out. We didn't do a little parking lot thing. So as you can see, the F3's coming together. I got the trunk on, the rear, I guess the whole subframe, saddlebag, trunk assembly kind of a thing. All that's on, batteries in it. I've already let it run till fan cycles to do the preliminary oil check. And I just got through wiring in the trailer harness, which I forget what a SOB those things are on F3s. All the plastic, you got rivets underneath. You hope that someone puts the hitch on there when they're new, because when you get some of those rivets underneath there, once they've got some time on them, it's fun, because the harness ends up going down into here, this little cavity, and it routes in really tight, and it comes out at the bottom. There's your 4 square, but nice and tight. I mean, once it's all together, it's very clean. But yeah, look at all the different things through the years. Remember the harness used to come from the dash, and all the radio, the CB, all those things bolted in these that are no more. No mention of a manual air adjuster for the bag, which, like I say, it's fine. Less junk and connections and stuff. But you used to open that up for a 12-volt socket, that you could wire something out, but there's not even a lead to do that anymore. Anyway, and I'll show you something here in a second. We got a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm literally at a point to put the plastic on. Got the new fender piece. How I've showed you guys, they come through and trim that so that the trailer hitch doesn't come up and hit it. When you bottom out, it'll hit it. So I had to pull that thing off to get that in, all this wiring stuff in there. I mean, literally all this has got to come. There's still a bracket that's got to go on it, and that has the links thing that the trunk locks on. There's the safety things in case you don't do that and you hear the thing going bang 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 down the road. That's a heavy duty son of a gun. That all mounts, slips underneath here and bolts down, and then like body clip. Oh, one of the body clips stayed in the plastic. Yep, I gotta get that out. This is where the ground used to be, which is no more. But I got some, this is where the trunk will plug in. Got something cool to show you over here. So, I've been busy upstairs building Spyders and, yes, Canyons. I've seen one, an XT. I think we've got, I don't know how many. That's a mustard yellow. I think that's been around before, if I remember. And then the Mars Red and the Spyder RT. See the sky, that would be. That's pretty wild. I'm not totally, I don't know what I think of that color yet. I don't know. I'll have to just kind of let it sit on me for a little bit. It's not initially, I mean, there's like no color I don't like. For some reason, that's just not jumping out and grabbing me. Although I passed Cable going up when he was bringing it up. He got it out of the crate and was bringing it up to do all the fine-tuning stuff. And set, buds and all that. Anyway, I passed him and it was sunshine out there. And I go, man, that thing looks good in the sun. It's got a lot of sparkles. I told him I've got a, Mars Red Spyder special edition. Or, yeah, special series. Yeah, but it's called SE as if it was, I think at some point it was a special edition. So the little tag that lets you know there's something different about it is SE. That's the way it was on the special series that, remember, I had 15 and 16 and with a little bobbed off shield I loved. Those were a special series and the same thing. And actually, I think instead of RT Limited, it was a RT SPE. So I don't use that anymore. It's limited. And then it's SE if it's a special edition. I'm not sure what makes that. Is that the top? It must be the top tier F3 Limited. And these, and I forgot. I hooked this one up, and I was literally walking back to go wash my hands to pick up the camera to say hey for the first time. Now that it's like 40 minutes from going home, 50 minutes. I was like, dadgummit, I didn't put that one on the charger. It charges, but it's more of a maintainer than anything else. Initially, it's going to sit here and charge it, but it's only 0.8 milliamps, or I'm sorry, 0.8 amps or 800 milliamps. So it's not very strong, which is what you want on something that maintains your battery. If you have an emergency thing and you need to go quick, you need to hook up a charger to it, but be careful, don't use any automotive crazy high amperage things. But anyway, so it will do that until it reaches full, and then it'll start doing its cycling, and it'll burn down a little bit and see what kind of voltage it loses in a certain period. Just read the book on them. It tells you all the different modes it's going in. And if it detects something weird, you'll come in and it'll be in a desulfate mode. And that always scares you. Like, whoa, I haven't seen that. What is all that about? Look at your little book. I think they all say, no, this is an older one. I've had this for quite a while. The newer ones tell you what all the lights mean on the back. Otherwise, you QR code the thing on there and figure it out. The newer ones have it all marked on the back. But how about that? There's 3 RTs and 1 F3 standard RT. It is a limited, but that's a sea to sky version. That's the bad boy of the bunch. And I think they haven't seen one yet, but I think it's Vegas white, but I've seen some pictures, but you know, those things change before they get here. Those like early promotion stuff, you know. But it looked like it was a gloss white, not that matte finish. And either way, I really like that Vegas white. Still, I just like that green one from that 22 or 23. I don't remember. Gentleman across the way there's got him. Whoa, I set my white balance for being over there. I come over here and there's too much natural light, like when you go out there. Yeah, see how blue that is? But I apologize for the bluishness. And you'll see it'll turn to normal once I get over here. This is still a little blue. I just pick a spot. I use the same spot every time. I'll literally show what I do every time I start down here. I put it right here. So I get the dark, I get some basically natural gray and a mostly white floor. That's where I lock the white balance. Every time I talk to you guys. But when you got the doors open and that glare, I must have some garbage on my lens. You get that kind of desaturation look when you get the glare coming through. But yeah, I'm at the end of it now. Coolant, oil, all that's fine. And this, just like the gentleman with the, he come picked it up today. The guy, were we calling the Spyder or him? We were calling one of the two, them, Andy. I don't know what his name is. It just seemed like a name. So we chatted for a bit and talked about things. I still had the rear completely off of this thing, and I was pointing. I said, "Oh, this is a little different. This is very similar to yours. You know, the wider pocket around the airbag on the swing arm." Yeah, told him where the ACS is sitting there, but I said yours is kind of buried a little deeper, definitely with it all apart. This looks similar to yours where you have access to everything. It's just, well, he goes, I watch the videos. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know he was watching the videos, but that's cool. So, super nice guy. He's got a numbered 2010 RT. He got one of the first 100 made, I think it was. That is really cool. And he still takes it out every once in a while. And he's got one of the original GS's from 08. So he got, I don't think the GS is numbered, but it's a low VIN number. So he got one of the first Spyders ever. And he got one of the top 100 RTs ever made in 2010. And then he bought that 22. But he's a really cool guy, nice guy. Had a nice enclosed trailer that he left here while the bike was here. That big lot we have off to the side. But it's been a fun day. You know, I've had some chatting with customers and stuff we do. I was talking to GM yesterday, and he was talking about some inside stuff about what they think about me in the videos. I won't go into any of those details, but that was nice to hear. He was down here about something else, but anyway, that's pretty cool. And you know what the owner thinks, and Jesus, I've known the owner I met him. I started October 12th. It seems like I had like a couple interviews or something, and then the service manager at the time, we worked together at York Honda and Yamaha, and he started a little bit before me, because the Yorks, the family, bought the thing from the original owners that had owned that thing. They'd owned that thing. There was one owner before that, so they bought it, and it was either 79 or 80. I think it was in 79, because I was, we had open campus at high school, and I would go over there, and then suddenly people changed, and things seemed a lot different. A lot of the employees Unlike nowadays, the news company or, corporation or whatever buys a motorcycle shop and they just gut them out and it just destroys them. If a store's got a good reputation, do what you can to keep those employees. But, you see, and this is just you see a trend. I'm not just saying for motorcycles. You see, these places buying up businesses and just going crazy, and then buying another, set of, what do you call it when it's a chain, and they're just buying these things up, and they get themselves over their head. First little wiggle in the economy. Let me get to the other side so you're not getting that weird glare from the doors being open. But anyway, and then they go belly up. Well, we've seen some motorcycle things of people going crazy, buying up dealerships like crazy, and first little bump in the road, next thing you know, they're upside down. But anyway, what I've seen with a lot of those is they go through, they don't like the employees, they got their own way of doing stuff, got some mindset. Usually don't know the first thing about motorcycles and the customers and stuff like that. When we first became Pro Caliber, the Hanna Group was the majority owner of it, and they ran it a lot like a car store, and that caused a lot of problems. People, you're used to the BS you got to deal with, and you take your car in, to a dealership. But people expect that kind of hometown, good old boys. Everybody rides, and everybody's got war stories, and you got technicians that been doing this like me since literally you're a teenager, and that's what they expect. They don't expect that corporate. If you go into a car dealer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's really hard to find a hometown like car dealer, and they're so all about business kind of a thing. The salesman will tell you anything you want to hear, make you believe it's a little hometown thing until you need something. Once the ink on the check dries, you just become Joe Blow customer, and you get stuck in the corporate loop of how they do things, But anyway, so the owner, he wasn't majority owner, became majority owner, and that was a long time ago. So it's run like a motorcycle shop, and we got a core group of people. The GM is one of them. He started about 4 years. Right, he came in right about the time the Hannas took over. They got their own way of doing things, and we had to train on how to self-service, and it was like this pushy upsell kind of thing, and motorcycle people just don't like that. We upsell what we find that you need. We don't do the car thing that try to talk you into joining some service club thing or have their own service menus, and it gets really weird. The motorcycle people just don't like that at all. But since John took over long time ago, 20 some odd years, it's been run like a motorcycle shop. We're big, we're fancy, we're part of a corporation. They do all our HR crap and our payroll and all that stuff, but the owner, he's the owner, and so it's been fan-freaking-tastic ever since then. There's always bumps in the road, things will come along, but since I've gotten older, the owner's gotten older, and everything, it's a lot of things have mellowed out a lot, and it's nice. It's really nice. It's a great place to work, great people, long-term employees here. It's nuts how many long-term employees we have. As far as being with the owner, the parts director and Kelly and I are the only two, for since the 25 years that we've been here. The parts director's been here since the 90s. So That's nuts. I think he's going to retire here pretty quick, which is going to be a bummer, and it's going to eat Kelly up. But, just nice things, and just, just little stuff that no one's ever told me. They kind of keep that so you don't get a big head. I think if you know me, I don't get a big head about anything. But anyway, it's kind of cool to hear what people think about what I do, with the videos and the customers and stuff like that. And what's cool, they don't freak out about, riding other brands. They don't care that I ride the Harleys. They care less. I do the stuff with the Spyders and the BMWs when he had them, and they're super happy with that. A lot of people come here from a lot of places to see Kelly and I, and we're super grateful for that. And you kind of don't think other people notice that, but they do, and that's cool. The people that matter notice it. I can't go into details. It's personal stuff, but it was really nice to hear. It was very uplifting. Well, that crate, this thing must have come across during some kind of storm or something. Even though they're in a crate and they got stuff over them, it sure got dusty. But that happens. They're open at the bottom, and it depends on where it's at in the stack or where it's at on the trailer, I guess. And the people that load them, they don't, well, this is a special series, so you need to have this, and wherever the best location is on the truck, they just load the Spyders up. They're going to Vancouver, Washington. You're going to stateside, boys, the truck drivers. Interesting. I don't know if BRP has changed something, but no idler arm for the belt. That's different. I mean, all the limiteds, maybe the F3s didn't come with them. I don't know. I think it is the RTs that come with them, but I don't know. Doesn't have it. We haven't had people complain about that at all. People will put them on just so they don't ever have to deal with it. But it seems to be a really rare thing anymore. Of course, I can say that because the RTs all come, limiteds anyway, come with the idler arm. It's just a little thing. Just think of it as a shock absorber for your belt. When you get a loose shock, they go bouncy bouncy. Well, new shock stops the bouncy bouncy of your wheels. Well, putting that idler arm on there is like a shock absorber riding on your belt. It's just absorbing those harmonic buzz things and it's really, even when it's bad, it's not bad. People go crazy. They feel anything and just literally have a cow about it. That 2014, we definitely had the belt buzz on that, but it was just, and it literally make it go away. You change the, make sure the belt's up to tension, and that was it. And there was a different setting if they spent most of their time at slower speeds, but and I think it was running the belt looser, if I remember. I'm not sure, but crazy. Some cool new wheels they got on there. I think that Seated Sky has something like that, but it's got some accents and stuff in it. Anyway, yammer to you all at once. Good Lord. Talk you into where it's time to go. Boy, I get this thing together. I got some heck of a mess to clean up here, don't I? But we'll be out rumbling with them tomorrow. I had literally just have to assemble this stuff now. There's nothing to put together. It's just to put back together. The stuff that's off of it now is stuff that I took off when it was a garage. Of course, the rear seat wasn't on there because that was kind of clipped to the rear section there. But it's put together. Like I said, all the chemicals are all good. Brake fluid's not black. And oh geez, I need to call that guy. That's somebody I need to call. Yeah, I need to roll. But we'll see you at the house here for too long. All right. Thanks for listening. I just lost 2 more, so that's, I don't know how many. Can't hold the phone straight, apparently. So I started walking, put the phone away in my pocket, and here they go boing, boing, boing by the time I got it out. And Sasha's trying to drag me. It takes 2 hands to get all this going. So anyway, sports camera view, look. I'll show you this right quick. This is a path they're taking across. They've got a new trail going through there that Dan just took off in there. Danny. Come on, buddy. Checking out your little deer friends there, buddy, huh? Oh, these almost tripped over my own feet. I was about to say, listen to all them birds on top of that tree, and then took off without me. I must have spooked them. Got Danny running around out in the pucker brush out there somewhere. It sure is beautiful out here. And that last little bit of sunset scheming between a gap in the mountains there, skimming across some trees in the background there. Starting to see stuff blooming. Hey, there's a cat. Cat hauling butt. Must have scared him. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous out there? I'll stop here in a second. I hear Danny. Hope that's Danny. Look at that. Sun's slipping through. Must be a gap back there somewhere. What do you think there, buddy? Danny boy? He goes, we're heading back, I guess. I'm gonna take the lead. Well, hello there, YouTube. Look at this. An outside goodbye. Could have done it the last few days, but it was cold.
Yes,
I hear
very cold.
I hear Harley running. Yep, definitely a Harley. But fun day today. Not a whole lot of recording. It was one big long clip towards the end there. I was a busy boy. Kelly was busy upstairs. It's nice. It was busy. Spiders being built left and right. It's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Makes you feel like the season is coming. The weather's gonna be nice for a few days. Though not very warm right now.
No, she's chilly out here.
I got away with not taking Sasha last night because I fell asleep and then she threw a fit. And it was just dark out there, you know. I just wasn't in it. Felt so sorry. She tries to be so cute and loves on you and just, you know, jumps around trying to get you to go. And I just wasn't in it last night. Finally, she just lays down and pouts, it looks like. But she's going to get her a good walk tonight, so.
Good.
But on that, we're going to bounce.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same Smoak time, same Smoak channel. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. You guys have an amazing Friday or Saturday.
Heck yeah. Friday tomorrow.
Yay.
Hot diggity. All right. We'll see you then.
See you then.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.